lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls. And they talked dirty and cussed out their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain. They even set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old tool house. There were 6 of them. Ralph, Imogene, Leroy, Claude, Ollie, and Gladys. And they went through the Woodrow Wilson School like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. They went around town the same way, stealing things, tearing things up, whamming kids. It was hard to get away from them. There was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no Hermans there. Jesus loves us as they say, because he keeps them miles away.
That's my little brother, Charlie. That's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. No Herdmans. That made her mad, because all the other kids said nice things about God and Jesus and good feelings. But old Charlie told the real truth. No Herdmans.
I don't care what everybody else said. That's what they really thought. All those other things were okay, but the main good thing about church is the Herdmans aren't there, ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment, it seems to me.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in the school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
We're all the worst ones.
Well, Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you...
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fat, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
Everybody's in it. Think how I'd feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the Christmas pageant. Think how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, actually, I didn't plan to go. You know how crowded it always gets. They can use my seat. I'll just stay home, relax, put on my bathrobe. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
There's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie's going to wear your bathrobe.
You just thought that up, Grace.
Why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. He's sick of being Joseph all the time just because his father's the minister. Nobody wants to be Joseph.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, why can't Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing.
From what I've heard in the past, that's not a serious drawback. The way in a manger always sounds to me like a closet full of mice.
What do you wear in the angel choir?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or bed sheets. Come on, let's go watch TV.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
They're right, you know. She directs the Christmas pageant. She runs the potluck supper. She's chairman of the bazaar. I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is that George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, maybe she'll try to manage the hospital because that's where she is. I ran into George at the drugstore and he told me his wife broke her leg this morning. She'll be in traction for 2 weeks and laid up till the first of the year.
Oh my, the first of the year? They'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
Well, she's in charge of the bazaar and she's in charge of the pageant. I feel sorry for Helen, but who's going to do all those things?
Well, I can take over the bazaar, and if you can handle the potluck supper. I don't know what we'll do about the Christmas pageant. Unless, how about Grace?
I just can't, Edna. I'm having company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
How about Grace?
Hello, Grace! Bob?
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
Does that mean I have to go?
Our Christmas pageant isn't exactly what you'd call 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that's ever happened to it. It's always the same old Christmas story, and the same old carols, and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
I'll tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Now, here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose our Mary carefully because Mary is the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father. Well, that's how I explain that.
I thought Miss Armstrong
Actually, I
was
don't
attraction.
spend much
How could she talk on the phone when she's attraction?
What do you think traction is, anyway?
I don't know, like when they put you to sleep.
No such luck. Beth, we'll need salt and pepper and napkins.
And I tell them there are no small parts, only small apples.
You will leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry and Leroy Orphan stole my lunch again.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
It's still in the oven.
I'll get it.
Your biggest problem. You'll have to get someone to push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they'll get in each other's way and bend their wings. Well, you can get Bob to do that. And he can keep an eye on the shepherds also. And another thing about the angels, don't let them wear
I have to go, Helen. Someone at my door. Someone at my door. I'll talk to you later. Yes, yes, I'm coming.
Lady, can you give me some supper? I haven't had a square meal in 3 days.
Oh, for heaven's sake, it's just you.
I was very lonely at the table.
And I bet Helen was very lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I'll bet she told you about no small parts, only small actors.
And getting someone to shove the baby angels on. Hang it the shepherds to shut up.
Yes, she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
Grace, be very careful when you choose the baby for the baby Jesus. Don't just choose anyone, get a quiet one. Or better yet, get two. That way if one of them gets fussy, you can always switch them.
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said she was stuck in the hospital all day with nothing to do but think up problems. And there weren't going to be any problems. Of course, Mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Hey, Leroy, give me my lunch back.
Here, kid, here.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't there.
What was it?
2 Twinkies.
That's right, that's what it was.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great stealing my dessert every day? And you know what? I don't care if you steal my dessert every day. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want at Sunday school. You're a liar. And ice cream and donuts and cupcakes.
Who gives it to you?
The minister.
Why, you crazy?
No, I think he's rich.
Someday,
Huh?
That was the wrong thing to tell the Herdmans. And sure enough, the very next week, there they were in Sunday school. Just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's a play, like on TV. What's it about? It's about Jesus. Everything here is. And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary. Who's Mary? I am? Well, probably I am. I know the part.
Come on, Beth. Charlie, you and David come. Now, this won't take very long. We will play the major roles in our Christmas pageant. Of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Miss Armstrong always tells you. There are no small parts, only small actors. Isn't that what Miss Armstrong always says?
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Don't you know what it means?
I know what it means. Even the short kids have to be in the front row of the angel choir, or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. It really means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice. I think Jesus is more important.
I still think these short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, 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 everyone is important. Jesus, Mary, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, will you just step out in the hall and see if anyone else is coming? Now, you little children will be our baby angels, so please remind your mothers that you'll leave bed sheets. People in the angel choir will leave bed sheets too, and if anyone has old bathrobes at home, well, we'll need you to bring those as well. Now, what's the matter? Well, let's make some room there for the Herdmans. And what happened to Beverly? What happened to Beverly? Where did she go?
I think she went home. I think she got sick.
Did Did she say she was sick?
She just left, and all I did was just say, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals? The next 4 Wednesdays after school. Plan to be here for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. And Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we haven't even started yet.
We don't know that Beverly got sick. Now, let's see. I want you all to think about Mary. We all know what kind of person Mary was. She was quiet and gentle and kind. And the girl who plays Mary should try to be that kind of person. Now, who would like to volunteer for that part? Imogene, yes. Do you have a question?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph over there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right!
Well, I'll just make a list of the volunteers for these parts, and then we'll all decide who it should be. Ralph Herdman. Now, who else would like to be Joseph? Elmer, did you raise your hand?
No.
Well, please just raise your hands. Any volunteers? Any of you shepherds? Very well, then. Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. And Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. I'll just write that down. What other names can I put on my list? Janet? Roberta? Alice, didn't you raise your hand?
No, I don't want to. I'll be Mary. Shut up, Gladys. I'm already married. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys, but they don't have to be, and we could
I'll be a
possibly-
wise man. Me too, Claude. You want to be a wise man? Just raise your hand. What's a wise man? Just raise your hand. What's love to me? I'm an angel.
I'll be that. What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie, would you like to be a wise man?
No, I was just saying that I can't be a shepherd. We're going to Philadelphia.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered. My mother doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said, don't be a shepherd. I'm not going to be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What is the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits too hard.
Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just visits the shepherds in the field and tells them Jesus is born.
And hits them.
Elmer, that is ridiculous, and I don't want to hear another word about it from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, you all may go. That's all for today. But I want to see everyone back here on Wednesday, 6:30 sharp. Alice, what is wrong with you? Why in the world didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
You don't know? Alice, I expected you to volunteer. Don't you want to be married?
Come on, Alice.
I don't know. I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in this play. And if you open your mouth or raise your hand, you wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then. And next spring, when the pussy willows come up, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can reach it. And it'll sprout there and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. Herdmans will do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole pageant. It's all your mother's fault.
Jane, Mr. McCarthy here. Have you heard about well, it must somehow be Grace's fault. How else could the 6 of them be in the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in jail?
Vera, I'm Miss Slocum here, and I just heard that Imogene Herdman is going to be Mary in the Christmas pageant, and is that fact? All 6 of them? Well, Vera, I live next door to that outfit, and I'd rather live next door to a zoo. Has Grace gone crazy?
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of child was that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? And where was the Reverend Hopkins, I'd like to know? He was what? Visiting shut-ins? Well, I was shut in, and he wasn't visiting me.
And I said, let them hand out programs. But Grace said,
Armstrong, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me, I'm on your side. The car's over there.
Helen Armstrong is not the only woman in the world who can direct a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind. I'd just do the best I could under the circumstances. But now I'm going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. And I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hands and no one else did. And I don't care.
Good for you, Grace. Car's over there.
And you're going to help me.
Does that mean?
Yes, you have to go. Gather around the manger.
What's an inn? Think about how people go to spend the night. What people? Jesus? Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
Hey, Tech. I don't tell. Shut up, Ollie. Everybody, shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogene, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this pageant is, so I guess I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that. Do you? But she's never heard the Christmas story before?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they've never been to church in their whole life. Until your dumb brother told them we got refreshments. Now we have to waste all this time for nothing.
All right now. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went up from Galilee with Mary, his wife, being great with child.
Pregnant! She was pregnant!
All right. That's enough. We all know that Mary was pregnant.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
Well, she was.
I don't think your mother should say Mary was pregnant. It's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
And wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
My God, they didn't have room for Jesus.
Well, they didn't know the baby was going to be Jesus.
Didn't Mary know? Didn't he know? What's the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them her pregnant and everything?
Well, unfortunately, there was no bed for them, so Mary had to use whatever there was. What would you do if you had a new baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a bureau drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you had to use something else.
Oh, we had a bed. Only Ollie was still in it. And he wouldn't get out. He didn't like Gladys. Remember how you didn't like Gladys?
That was pretty smart of Ollie, not to like Gladys right off the bat.
Anyway, a manger is a large wooden feeding trough for animals.
What were the wadded up clothes?
The what?
It said in there she wrapped them in wadded up clothes.
Oh, swaddling clothes. People used to wrap babies up very tightly in large pieces of material to make them feel cozy.
You mean they tied him up and put him in a feed box? Where was the child welfare? Child welfare is at our house every 5 minutes. Child welfare in Bethlehem. I'll say there wasn't.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them.
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night. With horrible vengeance. The mighty
I
Mara.
don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Mara from Amazing Columns has a black night with horrible vengeance.
This is the angel of the Lord who came to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
And when Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense.
What's that?
And myrrh.
Ah,
Well, they were special things, precious oils and spices.
oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare. Were they the welfare of the wise men?
No, they were kings, and they were sent
Well,
by...
it's about time somebody important showed up. If they were kings, they could get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
They were kings, and they were sent by Herod, who was, well, he was the main king, and he wanted to find Jesus and have him put to death.
My God, he just got born. They're gonna kill a baby.
Who's Herod?
Herod
pedophiles. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby Jesus. But our baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wouldn't let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby Jesus, and that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch one up, even at the last rehearsal. What do you keep writing in that book?
It's like a diary.
It is not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about sexy things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. She drinks it. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple. They steal too. If you shake the birthday bank, it doesn't make a sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And if you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is blue. And Imogene Herdman is sitting there in the Mary's costume, smoking cigars.
And you wrote all this down? What for?
For my mother and Redmond Hawkins and the Ladies' Aid Society and anyone else who wants to know when the whole Christmas pageant turns out to be a mess.
All right, is everyone here? Beth and Alice, could you please come up here so we can get started? Now, this is our last rehearsal, please.
Oh, Grace! Grace!
Yes.
We're all back in the kitchen making applesauce cakes. I hope we don't bother you. I know it's your last rehearsal.
Well, it's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear that your niece had a little baby a month or so ago? A little girl.
Oh, yes, she's 5 weeks old.
Well, how would it be if I were to call your niece and ask if we could borrow the baby?
No, Grace! I could lie and say she's cranky or sick or something, but the truth of the matter is she's happy and healthy and beautiful, and we intend to keep her that way, and we're not about to turn her over to Imogene Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
This is Bradley. He's my little brother for Jesus.
David, I didn't know you had a new baby at home.
He's not new, but he's 4 years old. But he's double jointed, so he could probably scrunch up.
Well, I don't think...
I'll get us a baby.
How are you going to do that?
There's always 2 or 3 carriages outside the supermarket. I'll just take one of them.
No, Imogene, you can't just run off with somebody's baby. We'll just forget about a baby. I guess we'll use a doll.
I guess that's better anyway. A doll can't bite you.
And Imogene, you know that Mary didn't wear earrings.
But I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
Well, they won't grow together in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you?
What doctor?
Well, who pierced your ears?
Gladys. She probably did it with an ice pick. I'll bet Imogene's ears turn black and fall off.
And is that what you're going to wear? Is that what you're going to wear tonight? You're all supposed to have your costumes on. Well, what?
Judith, my robe. My mother doesn't have any white sheets. Now sheets with balloons on it. I don't have a costume. I was never a shepherd before. You have to wear your father's bathrobe. That's what I have to wear. My father doesn't have a bathrobe. What does he hang around the house in? His underwear.
We'll pretend that we're wearing costumes.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, of course. But first we're going to practice just the entrances. So everyone go where you're supposed to be, and we'll start with the shepherd. Maxine, just say the last few words.
Shepherds, keeping watch over their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds.
And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And
No, Gladys.
out of the black night,
No. Go on, Maxine.
a multitude of the heavenly host.
Music, angels. Music, wise men.
I got the bit. Hey, don't touch it! I named it Jesus!
No,
No! No!
no. Mary doesn't say anything. No one says anything.
What?
Mary and Joseph just make a lovely picture for us to look at on Christmas while we think about what it means. Now put the dog back.
I don't get to say anything. Some angel tells me what to name the baby. I would have named it Bill. Oh, what a terrible thing to say. What angel was that? There's angels all over the place. Was that Gladys?
No, Gladys brings
start over, and we never did go through the whole thing. Our 5-minute break turned into 15 minutes, and Imogene Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the bathroom. Then Mrs. McCarthy went in and saw all the smoke, and she called the fire department. They came right away.
Fire! There's a fire!
They dragged the hose all through the church and cleared everyone out of the building looking for a fire. But the only one they found was in the kitchen. All the applesauce cakes burned up. Of course, the ladies were mad about that. And my mother was mad, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
There was a lot of smoke. The restroom was full of thick smoke.
Well, it couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, the church is full of firemen, and the street is full of baby angels crying, and shepherds crawling all over the fire truck, and half the neighborhood. Didn't you know it was cigar smoke?
No, I didn't know it was cigar smoke, Grace. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
Alice Wendelken's mother was mad too, and the whole Ladies' Aid Society was furious. Reverend Hopkins, he said he didn't know what to think.
I've been on the phone all day. I can't make head or tail out of it. Some people say they set fire to the ladies' room. Some people say they set fire to the kitchen. Vera Wendelken said all they do is talk about sex and underwear.
That was Toby Clark talking about underwear, and they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen where the applesauce came from.
Well, the church is in an uproar. I don't know. I know Jesus said, suffer the little children to come unto me, but I don't think he meant to hurt. Grace, don't you think we ought to cancel the pageant?
I bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
Oh, we can bring the fire. That's a great excuse.
I bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
But everybody thinks it's going to be a...
What, a disaster? No, it's going to be the best Christmas pageant we ever had.
But Grace, I don't think anyone will want to come.
I didn't think so either, and neither did Charlie, but we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the whole church was jam full. Everyone came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Wait till I turn the lights on. Now watch your step.
I don't know what in the world you expect me to do with this thing. I can't even see where I'm going.
Well, I thought it might look like a palm tree, but I see now it doesn't. Oh, I don't have any idea what's going to happen tonight. We've never once been through the whole thing, and the Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. This might be the first Christmas pageant in history where Joseph and the wise men run off with the baby and have a fight, Mary following them the whole way. Now, where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are downstairs in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids.
We're here.
Well, it's getting late. Go put your costumes on.
It's just gonna be awful, you know. They look like trick or treat, all dirty and fastened together with safety pins, wearing their moldy sneakers. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were. They were refugees in a way. Mary and Joseph, they were a long way from home, didn't have any place to stay, didn't know anybody. They were probably cold and hungry and tired and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Oh dear, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. Now I'm going to push the baby angels on stage, and then I'm going to hand out the shepherd's crooks and push them on stage. Now when do I do all that?
Oh, just follow this script.
Angels, shepherds, wise men. Doesn't seem to say here where the fire trucks come in. Oh, just kidding.
Now, is everybody here? Beth and Alice, I want you up front where you can help the baby angels. Now, can everyone come on stage, please? I want to see how you look. Gladys, where is your halo?
Our cat buried it. Listen, I ought to say something besides the baby king. Why would they all get up and tear out for some baby they don't even know? They ought to tell them it's Jesus, and I ought to tell them where he is.
No, Gladys, you just say, unto you a child is born, and that's all you say. Now, let's go backstage and try to be quiet while the people are coming, and good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. Actors say break a leg.
For those of you who don't know, it's just a theatrical thing. It doesn't mean break a leg, yours or anyone else's. And Imogene, try to remember that that's a baby. And for tonight, anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
In the days of Caesar Augustus, a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph went into Bethlehem with Mary, his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her firstborn son, which she wrapped in swaddling clothes and laid them in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Look at them. Aren't they awful? What's she doing with the baby? Oh, I don't think it's very nice to birth the baby Jesus, as if he had colic.
Well, he could have had colic, just like any other baby.
I don't care. It looks awful, and they look awful.
So what? They just came a long way, and now they don't have anywhere to sleep, and they have a new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Imogene?
No, Mary and Joseph.
And in that region, there were shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them. And Angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid. When an angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "Be not." Hey, that's you! Transform! Jesus! Then I'm gonna go see him! Go on! And suddenly there was a multitude of singing glory to God on highest, and on earth peace among men. When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
Well, even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their whole life.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, the wise men departed another way. The shepherds departed too, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept these things close to her and pondered them in her heart.
I like that. I like some spunk in the angel of the Lord. Sometimes you can't even hear them. I'm going to find Grace and tell her.
I just wish I'd let her have Eugene to be the baby Jesus.
Who was the baby Jesus?
Why, it was a doll.
No, Irma, that was no doll.
It did seem real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the pageant was about Jesus, but it was about more than that. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to sleep, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then, arriving from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends. Thanks to the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene birthing the baby, the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, they couldn't eat frankincense. And even Gladys, He's in the barn. Go see him. So they didn't have to wander all over the countryside looking for Jesus. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, it was all wonder and mystery, as if she just caught on to what Christmas was about. We had a party in the basement afterwards, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any cocoa, and they didn't walk off with all the cookies, and they wouldn't even take their candy canes.
Guess that's about it. Any kids left downstairs?
No, everyone's gone. You know, you're still wearing your bathrobe. You're not going to wear it outside, are you?
Why not? Maybe someone will think I was a shepherd. I wouldn't mind being taken for a shepherd in this year's Christmas pageant.
Yes, you would. When it was over, some lady came up and hugged me just because I was a shepherd. Should I bring this ham?
It's the Herdman's ham from their welfare basket, but they wouldn't take it back. Leroy said it's a present, and you don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendelkin.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They go off at midnight.
That's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie.
And so it came to pass, in the days of, and there were shepherds abiding.
A multitude praising God. I bring you the tidings of great joy. Hey, hey,